when you very spontaneously actually announced that the women's division was official. Why did you choose to go about announcing it in that fashion without letting any of your employees know? Did you really just see a story that said, put some fucking women's divisions in there, and you felt triggered to let them know right then and there that we actually have been planning this in the announcement?
Well, I mean, we had always had the plans. We're just trying to navigate how we get the women's division in there. A lot of people are going to say, Craig, were you just bullied into this by women? And I would say, no, that's mostly my personal life is being bullied by women into financial expenditures. But in terms of the event, we've been planning this for a long time. We're planning sort of a women's uniform with the street X, but I don't think we ended up going down that path. Really, not just because we want to support women's jiu-jitsu, which shouldn't even be a thing, support women's jiu-jitsu. It just should be supporting jiu-jitsu, right? But again, given the nature of the loan and given the nature that we have to make this profitable, sell tickets, it is the unfortunate reality. And it's not me saying this, it's the numbers really. And it's like it's more people just watch men's jiu-jitsu, but of course we're going to include them. And really it's a timing thing, right? So like day one of CJI was like 127 hours long. So day two was quite short. I've always looked back at the Las Vegas quintet, which the show wrapped up in under 3 hours. And that's beautiful. Like we want to keep this show tight, but given the nature of the teams, we do have spaces to fill, like I'm not going to give you an 8 hour marathon. Nobody wants to watch that, but we needed to extend the broadcast length. So we have room for a women's division. We always had room. We always had intent to put women in there. We're going to announce some form of co-main event. Who knows? Probably more important than my fight. It might be the main event. But yeah, 8 teams, best team in the world. 4 women. Who is the best woman in the world? That's going to be a weight class. I won't discuss the weight class yet. We'll save that for the first female athlete reveal. One of the best up and comers in the sport. Very jealous of her hair. And yeah, 2 super fights. That's basically what we're planning now. So, guys, we're not going to hold you hostage for 2 8-hour days. Really, yeah, it does drag it out, So we really want to make sure that you get enough jujitsu, but you're left wanting more, which is really a difficult thing to do if any of the matches are boring. But of course, the quintet format makes stalling exciting. If we've got Fabricio Andre versus Nicky Rod in an 8-minute match, and Fabricio Andre is in survival mode in a super fight, boring. Survival mode in quintet, where surviving gives your team the edge. We'll have the whole arena and live audience on the edge of their seat watching. Ticket sales are going way better than expected. I think in 4 days, we sold almost more tickets than we did in like maybe an 85-day period. CJ one was planned in basically 90 days. Seth would have the exact stats, but ticket sales are pumping. So, like, obviously, this sounds like a push, but guys, when this sells out, I'm obviously not going to respond to anyone's messages unless you're super important, famous, or quite an attractive lady about getting a ticket at a later date. So, please support the event. That's what really we're after here. If you guys support this event, there will be a CGI 3. Anonymous investors don't come along as often as you'd hope. So we really need to try and make this profitable. And it's my personal, I take it, me and Seth are taking this on our shoulders, right? We want to prove golf gets a live audience. Cricket gets a live audience. Fucking football, which I just watched, Conor McGregor's football game gets a live audience.
I can think of a time of when you didn't come second, and that was against Gabby Garcia. Is she going to be involved in CJI too? Is she going to have to earn her spot in the women's bracket? Is there going to potentially be a trials for this 4-woman bracket? Or do you envision it being more of a invite type of deal?
Yeah, it'll be an invite type of deal, I mean, like if we go back to the early ADCCs, there were no trials, like when you create this sort of organization, we're kind of trying to be strategic here about who we pick. Because again, like there's sports entertainment and there's sports. And when we're like, we want to survive. We want this event to survive. Like, we don't want to burn out. So like the unfortunate consequence of that is that there will be opportunities for up and comers to build their name. Not everyone's going to be a big name. But like the reality is that when you have an organization and you take on up and comers, that's quite an expensive endeavor. And we're really not at that level yet where we could afford to have people in the arena that aren't going to sell tickets. We rely so heavily on this event selling out because we want to grow the sport of jiu-jitsu. We put it for free. It's free on YouTube. It's not on Flow Grappling. It's not on UFC Fight Pass. It is not behind a paywall. So when we don't put it behind a paywall, it comes with some consequences, and that is a heavy reliance on ticket sales and sponsors. And obviously being free on YouTube is a great way to pitch it to sponsors, but it's a great way to grow the sport. You know, like you throw a paywall on anything, you're immediately going to get a whole bunch of people who are on the fence be like, oh, I have to pay for it, right? So I truly believe at this early stage of the game, because of our over reliance on a free broadcast stream, that unfortunately comes with the consequence of the up and coming generation. But that's not to say that you don't prove yourself out there in any of the other events. And most importantly, I want to see that not just your, I don't care about you finishing people all the time, right? I care about, like, the most exciting match we ever had, Andrew Tackett versus Cade Rotolo. There wasn't a finish. Jiu-jitsu to me is about the scramble and the battle for top position and control more so than it is about the submission. So if you're out there throwing it down, your intent is strong in trying to attack your opponent in any way, and you got a good social media presence, there's the secret. And like, should come as no surprise to you that that's probably the secret to securing sponsorship and gaining mass fan appeal too. So it's not a mystery how to get noticed in this sport. When it comes your time, don't play it safe. Don't play it safe. People are going to remember the crazy scraps. They're going to forget about the boring matches you're in. And that's a testament to me. I've had many boring matches because of the 11th hour. I was a bit scared to put everything on the line, say against Usman Palhares, right? So they remember the hits, not the misses, but try your hardest to be exciting and create a social media presence. And if I could say one thing to athletes, despite what it looks like, nobody likes doing social media. You have to do social media. You have to market yourself. And that's the way you get noticed. There's no one out there that's not a social media guy. Fucking put yourself out there. Put your personality out there. You're going to get noticed. People are going to pay attention. We will pay attention.
Wise words from Craig Jones.